Ross and Lew are back
Back again.
on a Thursday
Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody.
and a memorable
It is
day
for a lot of
different reasons.
Yeah, September 11. We're going to get a couple different things with that. Actually, some weather themed thoughts. As you know, we're got Hurricane Irma firmly on the screen here.
Yes, sorry, I'll advance it. There we go.
There we go.
8 years removed?
Yep. So September 10 is when Irma actually made its landfall in southwest Florida.
Okay.
And then that September 10 night and then into the 11th, that day was kind of the big day for Jacksonville, like talking crazy conditions. We're going to get more on that coming up here in just a moment. But so 8 years ago, where were you? What were you doing, Ross?
I'm trying
Penn
to think.
State?
Yes. Oh, yes. I was almost going to say I think I was in high school. No, I was not. I was a sophomore in college.
You would have been a sophomore.
Sophomore in college.
Sophomore in college. So, I know I'm going to, in just a second, we're going to talk to meteorologist Robert Spetta, who kind of does a deep dive into Irma for us. But, as we look back in history, as the tropics are relatively quiet right now, we'll have more on that in a second as well. But you think the impacts we had here were 500-year level flood impacts. Around Jacksonville. You've seen the videos, I'm sure. I mean, just the flooding was unbelievable. But look at what it was as it went by.
Yeah, it really wasn't that strong of a storm.
Right.
But you combine the amount of rain that you guys saw from it, plus you had mentioned, you guys were kind of locked into this northeast wind.
What we have right now.
Kind of the northeast conditions or nor'easter conditions that we've had pretty much all week, or for at least over a week now.
I mean, I believe we had, it was kind of one of those situations where we had 2 weeks of it and then a little week's break and then another week of it. And so that's filling up. But just like we're seeing the coastal flood advisories. It was eerily similar.
Water levels are high out there right now. And
right.
That's how it was 8 years ago.
We were dealing with almost a perfect scenario, imperfectly, for devastation. But the Irma is a reminder that these don't have to directly hit us head on. And I think we know that intimately for them to be extremely impactful. So let's talk to meteorologist Robert Spetta right now with a look back from 8 years ago.
8 years ago here on September 10th, Hurricane Irma made landfall in the Sunshine State. Irma brought hurricane-force winds to South Florida, widespread tornadoes, and severe flooding, including here on the First Coast. But before Florida, Irma traveled more than 4,000 miles across the Atlantic, setting records along the way. The storm rapidly intensified off of Africa, jumping from a tropical storm to a Category 3 hurricane in just 30 hours. It then struck the Leeward Islands as a Category 5 strength storm, the strongest landfall there on record, and maintained that intensity for an incredible 37 straight hours. Irma later hit Cuba as the first Category 5 there since 1924 before curving north and into Florida. It came ashore in the Keys as a Cat 4, weakening to a tropical storm by the time it neared Jacksonville. But weakened is definitely a relative term. Ahead of Irma, a nor'easter had already pushed waters into our inlets and along the St. Johns River. The hurricane piled more on top of that, driving up to record levels of flooding along the river. Also, Irma brought 21 tornadoes to the state of Florida, including an EF2 that caused damage in St. Augustine. In all, Irma made 7 landfalls, caused 134 deaths, and left behind $70 billion in damages. And this includes a lot of damage, yes, here to the First Coast and into Jacksonville. I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta, First Coast News, on your side.
Yeah, so that was kind of a look back 8 years ago. Remember Irma, if you were in town, of course, you remember, out of the beach, obviously we had big winds, but the story was downtown. And the story was from, St. Johns River, the Intracoastal, and the tributaries that were all full. So just remembering that these storms don't have to move directly over us in a direct landfalling fashion to be super impactful. So let's talk about what we're seeing, out there right now, which it kind of relatively quiet September. The wave it's actually not even a wave yet. So this area that's coming off the coast of Africa still may potentially over the next 7 days develop somewhere in that yellow circle or oval. So that's just 30% chance.
Mm-hmm.
So confidence low, and there's still a lot that can happen. Still a lot of time before that wave would even emerge and then get into that area of potential development.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of time.
A lot of time and space to traverse over here over the next couple of days. Some long-range models, trying to show it, get its act together, mid to late next week.
Mm-hmm.
But as you mentioned, Lou, a lot of things can kind of happen between now and then. It has not been super conducive for, tropical development as of late. We've had a decent amount of sinking air, a lot of wind shear, some drier air as well, inhibiting anything from trying to form. But this is really just comparing, the GFS American and the European models. They're September 15th, so that's in 4 days.
Yep.
And now heading into, the middle to latter part of next week, they're September 18th. Mm-hmm. There are signs, maybe something trying. You can see those 2 circles just to the northeast of the Leeward Islands there.
There's
a week from now. So.
At least, there is consistency between those two. So, but yeah, we're a week out from kind of that position. So that would be September 18. This modeling before anything even weekly were to develop. But there are other things that we'll watch. Kind of the hot spots would be Caribbean, Gulf, all around Central America. We'll watch pretty carefully, even if nothing's highlighted right now. Doesn't mean something can't pop that would ultimately get highlighted. So,
and that would be an area that something could spin up a little bit faster,
absolutely,
than perhaps a system coming off of the west coast of Africa.
Absolutely, and so untapped resources in the Caribbean and the Gulf too. So pretty hot water there for potential development. So we watch and we continue to, and at least for now, we just stay prepared. And over the next 7 to 10 days, we can breathe a little easy and just maybe check in on the tropics daily. I think it's once a day, so you're not getting paralysis by analysis, and you're not freaking yourself out with all those worst case scenario runs way out beyond 14 days. You just kind of check in daily, and we'll see where we are.
I always breathe easy when I'm with you.
Oh, Ross, I know. It's just something calming about being in this digital streaming room with you.
Absolutely.
Yep, like my pacifier. I don't know. Maybe that's not appropriate for work. Let's talk satellite and radar imagery.
Yeah.
Those folks in inland southeast Georgia have been blessed. While we had been socked in for a few days, they've been getting all the sunshine. All the sunshine, and then with those morning lows, good cooling. So they've been seeing. Some places in inland southeast Georgia, certainly in the upper 50s.
Mm-hmm. What you would consider perhaps chilly.
Yeah.
Especially for this time of the year.
Right. You walk out that first time in the morning, it's like, oh. Especially if you're only going out in your socks because you're running to get in the newspaper and the neighbors aren't up yet.
Socks? Why do you have socks on already?
You got to keep the feet warm. I'm always socked up.
You wear socks to bed?
No, I'm not wearing socks.
Okay.
But it's the first thing I put on in the morning.
Yeah. So you put socks on before you get your coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Socks are on.
Interesting.
Wish I had slippers. That's a Christmas idea. Okay? Christmas gift. Gifts keeps on giving.
No, are they the socks with like the grippers on the bottom? Or are you just slipping and sliding out there?
I am getting to that age.
Yeah.
And that tile is slippery. Yeah. So
a cane would also be a good Christmas idea.
A good investment.
And a top hat, perhaps.
Oh. Yeah, and that just equals authority and credibility.
Cheerio.
A man with getting in my top hat and cane years. Warm. So we saw mid 80s. We saw a couple of upper 70s. 2 out there. Winds have this is persistent, and it's not much has changed. 15 to 20 coming out of the east northeast. We saw a little more northerly trend yesterday and in this morning. So it might have been a contributing factor to why some of our friends in inland southeast Georgia had some of those upper 50s.
Yeah, the more northerly track.
Yeah, as well, and kind of a look ahead as we prepare for tomorrow morning, getting the kids ready for a Friday morning at school. One more day of school. We're kind of taking those lows down just a bit, and you can see that gradient. Beaches. You're not gonna feel much of a difference. You're pretty consistent, but get a little inland, get a little away from the river, and you might be in those mid 60s.
Yeah, you go a couple miles west of 17, And yeah, you start to cool off a little bit more so
Yep.
by dawn tomorrow morning. So nice cool start. In the afternoon, shaping up to be another pretty good day, Lou.
Yeah.
Mid-80s again, a little bit breezy out there, but I think rain chances going to be rather limited throughout the day. I think we're primarily looking mainly for St. Johns County, Flagler County, some of our coastal areas, but I would feel pretty confident in saying 80 to 85% of us going to be staying dry throughout the day tomorrow. We'll watch for maybe a few coastal showers to sneak their way on in, but most of us not going to see a whole lot of shower activity out there. We got a lot of dry air in place,
Yeah.
Lou, and that's really going to limit, how much, vertical development any shower that tries to develop will be able to get.
Yep. So limited rain chances. We've been blessed the last couple of days. We've had a break from it because we certainly had a ton earlier last weekend and then before. And so we get towards another Friday night of pleasant conditions, some high school football. Still focused in on that Bowles Bishop Kenny like we were yesterday. That has high game of the week potential, but we've already been to Bishop Kenny. So
Game of the week.
and we do have the game of the week that's going to be at the beach, Fletcher. And, we did mention that coastal shower potential. I think by the time we're, getting to the evening, we're getting much, much better. Very similar to what we've had at 6:30 these last couple of nights. Things tend to improve. So if there had been any rain, we mentioned the beaches. You have your eye on it. But overall, while it will be windy, maybe tough on the special teams units, going to be pretty good.
Yeah, that kicking game going to be a bit of a struggle.
And high school kicking's always curious to me.
You got some dudes out there with just a boot, though.
You do. You run into the guy who's going to go kick in college.
Yeah.
Every couple of games.
He can kick it 50 yards,
Yeah.
but you don't always know
Yep.
which side of the upright it's going.
Yep.
Whereas you also got some guys who they're solid from 35, they're always going to make it.
Yeah.
But then you get to like 40, and then you start to lose the accuracy quite a bit.
And then you run into those pretty good talented high school football teams that have to run out a wide receiver to go try to kick an extra point sometimes.
Yeah.
And you see those guys, and it's like, uh-oh.
Now, I love it when you have to send like a lineman or someone out to hold it on the snap.
Yeah.
Who's never done it before.
Oh.
I did do that once. Was terrified.
Did you just kind of do that? Did you turn?
Yeah, I pretty much just started praying. Started praying. He didn't kick my fingers off. Still got off.
Got all of them. Got all
There
your
we go.
digits. Still count to 10, Ross. Yeah.
But yeah, a little windier out there at
Windy.
Fletcher than perhaps some other
Breezy
places.
and tightening gradient this weekend too, I think. So with high pressure wedging in up, around the Appalachian Mountains, could certainly start to see for us those northeast winds picking up. So where we've been 15 miles an hour through the day today, Saturday we kind of bump those things up with 30-mile-an-hour gusts
At least.
possible.
Yeah, I would say anywhere from really the I-95 corridor over to the coastline and the beaches, you could even see wind gusts upwards of 35 to 40.
Yeah.
And I think this model does a pretty decent job of showing it. So if you live a little bit further inland, closer to I-75, it's going to be breezy. I wouldn't necessarily say windy, but for many of us who live around the metro, would certainly consider it a pretty windy day there on Saturday. This is showing gusts 25 to 30 there, sustained 15 to 20.
Yep.
And you can see those brighter colors, those reds, oranges, even kind of pink colors coming from offshore, moving inland. So,
which is why I think, and I will say, unfortunately, because it is a weekend and you're thinking maybe I'd at least go to the beach and hang out. It's probably going to be one of those, we go to the beach and hang out, but maybe if you're not the best swimmer in the world, we avoid it because rip current risk is absolutely going to go up. It's going to be those messy, sloppy waves that aren't exactly ideal for riding. Not the best salt life as far as offshore fishing. And I know my offshore fishing captains trying to run charters probably, maybe they're switching to the inshore stuff, but those long offshore runs are not favorable.
I'm just thinking like sitting on the beach.
Yeah.
You got to be pretty windblown if you're just sitting there like reading a book.
Yeah.
It's not that enjoyable. You got sand blowing around.
It's going to be it's just not the best beach weekend. And then of course we have talked rain. So as we go through Saturday, and listen, not everybody, it's funny. Listen, we're your weatherman, but we're also the weatherman of the office, obviously. So the people around the office come to the desk and they'll say things like, "Well, I got to play golf out near Ponte Vedra."
I have to. Yeah, it's a necessity.
It's a must do. And I'm playing out, in Ponte Vedra. I'm not playing out at the beach. And is it going to rain on me? Well, I think as a golfer, my bigger concern is less about the off and on rain chance, because I don't think you're going to get just absolutely flooded. I don't think it's going to be just constant, just a day long rain.
Yeah.
You're going to get those waves of it, but it's more the wind, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not ideal. But you know what? You got the tee time, so go do it and go be a mutter. But we do have those chance of coastal showers on Saturday.
Sorry. So one of our engineers out here just peeked his head in. I'm trying not to laugh. It sounds like we've got frickin' Ratatouille up in the ceiling right now.
Yeah.
We're doing some
Can you
construction.
hear that at home? I don't know.
Some changing around in the newsroom, moving some,
Do you like that movie?
Ratatouille?
Yeah.
Ratatouille.
Do you like it?
Actually, that was probably more Italian than
that
French.
was more, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was
less.
woof. Yeah, I do like it.
It's a good movie.
It is.
I didn't know you were a Disney movie guy.
Yeah.
Really?
I grew up watching High School Musical and Camp Rock.
This is what I'm talking about. All right, so
gosh.
now we got something else we got in common.
Favorite
Now-
favorite Disney princess. Hit it.
Hit it. Elsa.
Oh, okay.
I like Elsa.
Surprising.
Well, I mean, it kind of favors my wife. I think they look a lot alike.
Wow.
I just
What a compliment for her.
the ice part probably isn't a compliment,
Yeah, probably not.
but very, very warm.
Ice cold.
A very warm woman. So other than that, but I do think
Interesting.
I think that's just where my head hit first. That or Rapunzel is where it's at.
Okay.
If you're picking up what I'm,
Well,
the
yeah,
trends.
there's a
What about
trend
you?
there.
All right, favorite Disney princess.
Who do you think it is?
I'm gonna go Belle. 'Cause
No.
she's well read.
No.
No?
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
You know I'm a history guy. Love Pocahontas.
Ooh, good pull. And what a great movie.
And she's probably not considered a Disney princess, but she's in my book.
She's 100%.
She's in mine.
100%. Powerful.
Yeah.
I did not see our stream going this way today. I did not see it going into Disney
Well,
princesses.
sometimes you just gotta
yeah.
hit them with the curve.
Hit
you
it
know
with
what
that
I'm saying?
12.6, man. Hit it if you can. But when they did hit it, it went 500 feet. That's so far.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, you
they-
lost a little bit of speed on it, right? It just, especially when you let it hang.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just
and
crushed
see,
that.
mine, I indicated mine so much. Like, I throw ball very hard, or I used to. So, but I had a different look. I had a different release point for the curve. So anybody that was a halfway competent hitter,
They could just see where your release
he's
point
not
was.
throwing the fastball. Let me just dig in.
Yeah.
And sometimes that ball would travel so far in the humid air of South Carolina, which, as you know, as a scientist, some people would think, oh, well, it's so humid, the ball is not going to. That's false. The ball goes farther in more humid air.
Mm-hmm.
So go figure. And I did not like that. But anyway, I gave up fewer home runs than I struck out people. I'll say that. But that ball would go far.
I think we do have some stuff in here about
Thomas Hayward Academy used to rock me. Shout out
Oh.
Thomas Hayward. God,
Thomas Hayward.
those boys, they could hit.
Those
man.
guys.
They could rake. Embarrass me.
I think we do have some sports graphics in here if we get to it eventually. Sunday, similar story.
Sunday.
There we go.
Kickoff.
Let's talk a little bit of sports since we're on the topic of baseball. Let's switch it to football. Of course, we don't have any games locally this weekend. FSU has the weekend off, but Bulldogs are on Rocky Top up there in Knoxville.
What a
And, of course,
game.
the Gators under the bright lights in Death Valley down there in the bayou
Yep.
of Louisiana. 7:30 kick against the Tigers.
Interesting. And I think we were having this conversation the other day about how Irma actually, as we flash back, impacted the LSU Florida game that would have been in the swamp
Oh, okay.
that 8 years ago. And we're going to double check that history, but I'm pretty confident that was impacted. In fact, they were sending everybody home to go, like the Gator players getting sent home to go help family along the southwest coast of Florida go pack up. And so, yeah, interesting stuff. Nothing like that, though, up in
good weather for
Baton
both.
Rouge. Gators got to get right, and no better way to get right than go beat LSU in their home.
Top 5 team.
Go beat them. You know what I mean? Go get right. And then Georgia, Tennessee, what a game. Game day going to be
Yeah,
there.
game day going to be there.
That's a fun one.
But no rain or storms in the forecast there. Similar story for the Jags then on Sunday.
We got
Up
some
there in
cat-on-cat
Cincinnati.
violence about to happen in Cincinnati.
Who is the true big cat will be decided
Yep.
at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati on Sunday afternoon.
I like the Jags' chances, honestly. I think they're only 3-point dogs in this. And, that's kind of just because they're playing in Cincinnati, that little wiggle they give in Vegas.
Well, Cincinnati didn't look very good last week.
They
against
didn't
the
look
Browns.
great. The offense kind of struggled, made the Browns defense, and maybe they are good, but it made the Browns defense look real good. It didn't score many points.
Their defense did look a little bit better. Typically, the defense is pretty horrible in Cincinnati. Looked a little bit better, but it'll be interesting to see. We got a hint or a taste of using Travis Hunter, right? Reports have been that he's going to play a little bit more defense this week rather than offense to try to cover T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
It's tough.
We'll see kind of how he, matches up against those guys, because Jamar Chase probably a top 3 wide receiver in the league, and T. Higgins is certainly nothing to stick your nose up at. He's a great wide receiver. So.
Joe Burrow mentioning he's going to try to. He was a little pressured last week, so he said he's going to be more of a ball player this week. He said he's going to be moving the pocket. That's what some of his quotes were. Said, I'm going to try to
cool Joe.
I'm going to take the game into my hands, be more of an athlete, and move the pocket. So we'll see how Jags keep him kind of locked up. But I like the Jags' chance. I also like this being a low-scoring game.
Well, the heat might have something to do with that too.
Yep, it's
going to be a hot, sunny day up there in Cincinnati.
Hot there, if not hotter, honestly. And the whole kind of middle part of our country is going through that. In fact, they've got middle part of our country right now in that kind of heat dome almost. So kind of flip-flopping, but there's some really warm temperatures up that Mississippi River Valley. So, looking pretty good. Hey, anybody making that road trip, go enjoy it, man. Have a great time up in Cincinnati. Go get a Jaguars dub. We got Buddy Check 12 day for Friday, so throw on more pink. I'm going 2 pink days in a row. Ross knows my pink tie. I said, pink today on the 11th? I said, yeah, that's right.
A day early. I
got so many pink ties in there. I can put a little variety from the tie-brary and get it going. We do put the little rain icon on for Saturday, so we're keenly aware, mainly east of I-95. Yep. So that's going to be our focus for the best rain chances along the beach.
Yep. So overall, pretty good looking forecast.
So kind of a little history. We mentioned September 11th at the beginning, and a little more somber thought as we talk about Irma and their impacts, and we think about what happened this day in 2001. I know you were a young man. You're 4 years old. I was a college freshman. Of course, we all remember where we were when that happened, if you were alive when it happened, and all the changes that have happened. But again, we're going to visit with meteorologist Robert Spetto, who has kind of a meteorological look at what September 11th was. We know it was kind of that blue sky day in New York City, but just off the coast, a little different.
We all remember these images from September 11th, 2001. This one here showing our satellite image of that smoke plume coming off of the Twin Towers, and this tragic event with that smoke blowing towards the south. This was a northerly wind on the left side of what was Hurricane Erin at the time. And I point this out because the reason you had those clear skies because dry air was sweeping in behind this, causing that northerly breeze, but all those blue skies, which led for these events to pretty much take place. Because if this situation changed even just a little, and I know we can't change the past, but it is interesting to look at how things could have changed with any delays or the cloudy skies, reducing visibility, all of that stuff. If the track was just a little bit different. Why is the weather? It's just so important. Always monitor out here in the tropics as well, today being right near the peak of hurricane season. So that's a little look back. I have more information on this at firstcoastnews.com.
Through your Saturday afternoon and evening, we also have a 40% chance for some of those coastal showers to sneak their way on shore, with a high of just 82 degrees there for your Saturday. A high of 83 on Sunday with a 30% chance of rain. Yet again, still pretty windy, watching for those coastal showers. And then as we look ahead to next week, really not a whole lot of a change in the forecast. The vast majority of us will experience plenty of sunshine and dry time out there with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, but still quite breezy with that northeast onshore flow. As for the tropics, the National Hurricane Center has highlighted a tropical wave along Africa's west coast, giving it a 30% chance of tropical development over the next 7 days. But otherwise, really no worries or concerns tropically for at least the next week here on the First Coast. I'm First Coast News meteorologist Ross Mumal with Jacksonville's most accurate forecast.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Lee Southwick. You're watching the First Coast News Weather Channel. We are proud to have been named the most accurate weather team in Jacksonville for the 5th year in a row by Weather Rate. We take our forecasting very seriously, and we want to get every detail right and accurate. We know weather impacts your day, whether it's going to work, going to school, running errands, going to the beach, or out on the water. You need to know what time that rain is going to arrive, how hot it's going to be, if fog is going to impact you, or if it's windy. And we want to nail it every day for you. We promise to keep working hard to stay the most accurate when it comes to forecasting for the First Coast.
You're looking for answers. You need to understand the facts. You want the truth.
The First Coast is my home. I grew up here and I worked really hard to get back here.
Because I want you to be ready for what's coming.
You got to make sure you're exactly on point with your forecast.
Being part of the most accurate weather team, we can give you that trust, helping you stay safe.
You earn someone's trust by showing up every day for them.
Why does it matter in a forecast? Trust isn't everything, it's the only thing.
Consistency with, the accuracy in your forecast.
You're planning your day around it. You're planning your life around the weather forecast. Every storm.
Every forecast.
We are earning your trust.
Rely on the team working every day to earn your trust. First Coast News, on your side.
Hi, folks. I'm meteorologist Lewis Turner, working here at First Coast News. We're on your side. Been here since 2010, forecasting the weather for Southeast Georgia, for the First Coast and Northeast Florida. And it is a blessing and a treat to get to do it and work here with the First Coast News Weather Channel, which is powered by the First Coast's most accurate weather team.